Hallelujah. RNGesus is on our side. Okay, second World War Hulk. We're going to put Calamity into play. We're going to saddle. And we're going to attack with Calamity. Oh, yeah! All the Vaultborn Tyrant triggers. Welcome, friends and opponents, to Head Games Arena. My name is Jet, and today we are taking our first look at Standard, featuring cards from the new Marvel Superheroes set, and we wanted to start off by doing something big, and by that, of course, I mean we are playing World War Hulk. This is a 5-mana saga enchantment. The first chapter says, the next red or green creature you cast this turn can be cast without paying its mana cost. So we are designed to have big red or green creatures in our hand and to cheat them into play for free, hopefully a little bit of above curve, ahead of curve, with World War Hulk. Second chapter puts 3 counters on a creature, 3+1/+1 counters on a creature. Third chapter chooses a creature, doubles its power and power and toughness, and gives it trample until end of turn. So it just giant sizes a creature. So if this gets to the end and you've got a creature on board, chances are you're going to be able to win the game. So the deck essentially is going to be a Gruul or red and green ramp deck. We're going to play things that speed us along mana value wise so that we can get to World War Hulk and or other similar effects to cheat very big creatures into play and hopefully sneak out the win from our opponent. Down on the bottom with the ramp package, 4 copies of Llanowar Elf, 4 copies of Badger Mole Cub, 4 copies of Shared Roots, all very low to the ground ramp pieces that are very strong, 3 copies of Bloomvine Regent, which has claimed territory in its Omen side, which is kind of a poor man's Kadama's Reach and only digs out forests, but is also incredibly effective for the mana value. I also have 2 copies of Abrade down here. I wanted to make sure that I was able to interact with the format. Being able to destroy an artifact is particularly relevant against control matchups right now that are running the Tablet of Discovery or the Resonating Loot. Being able to they take the turn off to cast that, you respond by destroying it with Abrade. It really changes the dynamic of the game. 2 copies of Smuggler's Surprise as another effect that similarly cheats big creatures into play. This card does a lot of different things. I find that I use the mill 4 and put up to 2 creatures and or lands from among the mill cards into your hand ability quite a lot early in the game to just make sure that I have something to put into play with World War Hulk. And then you see this column here with all the incredibly big creatures. 1 copy of Galta, 12/12 Trample, dumps all your other creatures into play. 2 copies of Craterhoof, enters and makes your team bigger, equal to the number of creatures. 2 copies of Raph and Mikey, which is just a 7/7 Trample Haste. Cheating this in with World War Hulk is remarkable because you're also going to cheat in another creature when Raph and Mikey attacks. 3 copies of Vaultborn Tyrant, just a kind of mid-range all-star here in terms of, like, this isn't necessarily going to immediately win you the game, but it's going to generate so much value over time that you end up overwhelming your opponent. 3 copies of Overlord or of the Boilerbilges, which does 4 damage to any target when it enters or attacks. So again, this is a fantastic thing to cheat in early because it's going to remove a threat and possibly just throw extra damage at your opponent. 1 copy of Calamity, which is just a hilarious meme-worthy card. You put something on the back of it, saddle this horse, it makes 2 copies of that creature tapped and attacking, so 2 extra copies of Boilerbilges that do damage when they enter, 2 copies of Vaultborn Tyrant, 2 copies of Craterhoof. There's some remarkable hilarity that can occur when you get a Calamity going. So that is the list. Very straightforward. Ramp into the ability to cheat big creatures into play, cheat big creatures into play, and hilarity ensues. I forgot to talk about Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So this is 6 mana. Look at the top 8. Put a creature onto the battlefield. If you teamwork, which means if you tap up to 5 power amongst your creatures when you cast it, you put all the creatures from the top 8. This is very strong when it hits. It also is kind of a spin the wheel situation. So before we head over into the gameplay, I'd like to invite everybody to please like, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Let me know what other standard decks you're excited to see now that we've got new cards for Marvel Superheroes. Thanks as always for being here. Let's play some head games. Game 1, World War Hulk. It's a Gruul Stompy list featuring some new cards from Marvel Superheroes. So we don't have the namesake cards here, but we do have a decent ramp. And we've got, you know, both Calamity and Raph and Mikey, which both do really remarkable things if you can ramp into them. So I think that we can keep this. Being on the play really makes me like this hand. We'll start with bossing, say, tapped. Probably go into Okay, one plains tells us very little. So I think we stomping ground into shared routes here. Do we get another red source? So we have cards that specifically dig out for us, so I think getting a mountain here is probably the most sensible thing. So we've potentially got 5 mana next turn if we cast Badger Mole into... Okay. So, we're probably going to catch a counterspell here. We did not. Okay. Removal. They're going to let us get away with this, which they may counter this instead. It would be a not bad choice for them. Because ramping really puts us on the advantage. So they've got to get lost, probably. So if we're playing against control, we now need to start being very careful about what we do next. Okay. Because chances are they are actually just going to... They're just going to actually try very hard to slow roll us here. So let's do something else. We're going to shift our strategy to just attacking like this. Yep. Get Lost takes out the Badger Mole. So we're going to shift completely and start leaning on Bossing Say and start turning all of our lands into creatures. And now they've got Demolition Field to take out the Bossing Say. Excellent. Okay, what's the move here? Yeah, we're going to do it again. I don't know why it's auto-tapping the way that it is, but... See, I actually wish it hadn't done it that way. I probably should have, I should have manually tapped there. Now they're going to take out Bossing Say. Yep. We will get a forest to replace it. Fountain Port for our opponents. Let's get another land down. We're going to attack with the 2/2/2s. The 2/2/2s. We'll go to 8. Start activating some of these map tokens on our Thornspire village. Do I care about a braid? I don't, right? Okay. I don't care about a braid. There's another land. So do I play Overlord here? I don't think I want to give them anything to counter here. I think I'm far enough ahead that it's better for me to just wait. Now they're going to make a... They made a treasure. What can they do with more mana that matters? We haven't seen anything but blue and white yet. Okay, Thornspire Verge for us. We're going to get in for 6. Okay, we've got it. So, Black Panther kills one of our creatures. It comes back tapped, and then we play Overlord of the Boilerbilges and do the last 4 damage. Not bad. On to game 2 with World War Hulk. A Gruul Stompy list. We are on the play. We do have Llanowar Elves. So we've got Llanowar Elves into claim territory, which is very strong. Okay. Okay. I think that this is keepable. We are going to have to hurt ourselves. And again, we're trying to remember here, would the new land, I don't know what we're calling them yet, would the new land from superheroes be better here? Okay, so they take out our guy. That's okay. We're going to shared roots. We'll get a mountain. So we've only seen Requiting Hex, so we don't know what else is here. 2 black for our opponent. So if we Badger Mole, they just remove it. So we're not gonna bother. We're gonna claim territory. We're gonna get 2 forests. We're gonna put 1 into play, and then we'll put the second one into play, and we will say go. We're not gonna give them anything to do with their mana. And of course they have a changeling. Here comes the demon. Oh, Corpses of the Lost. That's not what I expected. Okay. World War Hulk does nothing here. I do not like that at all. What am I supposed to do? Like, we are now very much on our back foot. Alright. So we are going to Badger Mole a forest. And I think we have to enter this tap. Why are we hurting so much? Why are we at 12? Oh, because I guess they did a 6. They took us from 18 to 12. Okay. Now I understand what's wrong. Yep. Badger Mole gets it. We will block one of your creatures. We're going to Smuggler's Surprise to take a peek and hopefully hit another creature for World War Hulk to be able to get. So Calamity's fine, but not good. We're in trouble. They're just playing very, very synergized, you know, black removal, and it's very hard for us to move our game plan forward here. What's our draw? Another World War Hulk really does. So a single removal spell and a hasty creature, and we are done. That's it. So I'm actually really tempted to play Earth's Mightiest Heroes here. And we'll take Galta. And we'll put Calamity into the battlefield. So, still not feeling great about where we are. I'm incredibly surprised they didn't have a removal spell there. That makes no sense to me. That's it? Oh, very surprised by that. Game 3. Gruul, World War Hulk. Doing okay so far, 2-0. We didn't really get to see the deck do its thing. To some extent. I mean, we did get a Galta in play. Earth's Mightiest Heroes dug all the way for a Galta, which probably won us that last game. This is what I'm talking about. Training Compound. I don't know what we're calling these, but, you know, how good are these lands? Because basically, if you control a basic, they enter untapped, and they give you your 2 colors if you control a basic. So... and again, actually looking at our hand right now, we don't have a basic. This is totally keepable. I'm just gibbering. So we'll start with Bossing Say. Second turn, Training Compound into Shared Roots. Okay. Smuggler's Surprise looking pretty good here. Our opponent dropped a negate into the bin. So Training Compound gives us red and green because it entered this turn, and then Shared Roots gets us a mountain, and now it gets us red and green forever. So that feels good, right? These lands feel good. 2 black gives them a take something out of our hand spell, I'm guessing. Nothing? Okay. So if that is the case, we will play another Training Compound, and we'll get a Llanowar Elf into play. We're okay if they remove this or any of that other stuff. That's it for us. So we want to draw another land. Cruel Claws, Heist. So they reveal a card. Yeah, we're okay with that. Go ahead. We draw a card and then they pinch a card. What are they going to take? They take one of our Vaultborn Hydrants. Okay, so we'll do this, and I think we're gonna fire this off now. Actually, is that right? Well, because they can counter it later. So if I fire it off now, I draw several new cards and make them deal with what I'm doing. I'm gonna do it now. We'll put these two creatures into play. We're gonna draw 2 new cards. Smash you for 4. This is where World War Hulk would look really good. So, I don't think there's a 4-mana board wipe. Okay, Gruul Claws Heist again. They got... I was going to say, I think they have to take Badger Mole. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... So I don't have enough to cast either of my guys. And that's okay. Was really hoping. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that gets us up to 7. So I think what we do here is we... Green, green... and red to activate Bossing Say on this forest. So I have 1, 2. I'm trying. Can I win? I think so. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, yes. Okay, we abrade the Badger Mole. We attack with everybody. We put the 4 on the opponent. And that's it. Okay. Almost left it on the table there. On to game 4 with Gruul World War Hulk. Now we're on the draw with a very questionable hand. We have a little bit of ramp. I think we can keep this. I know that may sound surprising, but I do think we can keep this. If our opponent comes out fast, we're in trouble. Okay, it doesn't look like our opponent's going to come out fast. It looks like our opponent is going to... Hallowed Fountain is a pretty clear indicator to me that we're up against control again. Seeing a lot of that today. Okay, Thornspire Verge. Do you want to counter my ramp spell? You don't have it. Okay, we'll get a mountain. Jeskai control for our opponent. Tablet of Discovery. Gets them a land that they can't use. We are going to Stomping Ground, and we're going to abrade the tablet. Kind of why abrade's in the list, because this Jeskai control list depends a lot on Thornspire Verge for us, and we're just going to pass. We will fire off Smuggler's Surprise to mill 4 and draw some cards. If they want to counter this, we're okay with it. Getting them shields down on their turn is just as good, because then it allows me to actually resolve something on my turn. Okay, so we'll take a land and a Bloomvine Regent, and we'll say go. And then we'll play the land that we showed them. And say go again. Okay, they've missed a lot of land drops, which really puts us in an advantageous position. If they miss another one, my guess is they're not going to keep playing. So we're going to, on their end step, cast Smuggler's Surprise to put 2 creatures into play. This is going to draw a counter. 100%. There you go. We will play our 7th land. We'll play Raph and Mikey. That's going to get in for 7. That's going to put this Boilerbilges into play. Oh! Vindication. We are on to Game 5 with Gruul, World War Hulk. We've got our winning record. We are 4-0 currently. This is fine. Llanowar on 1. I've really become a fan of Smuggler's Surprise to mill the cards and get additional cards. This is proven to be a fair strategy for us. I don't mind this at all. We will start with a forest and our old friend, Magic the Gathering staple, Llanowar Elf. Always good. Shadowy backstreet for our opponent, Surveils. Pausing for effect. Are they putting something in the bin? I'm having a really hard time deciding. They are not. We'll go to Thornspire Verge and we will pass. Again, we're going to fire off the mill 4 cards, put 2 creatures, because it's kind of a 3-mana draw too. Like, oh, we're going to hit, we're almost always going to hit 2 cards with this, because it includes lands. Our opponent does machines. Draw 2, discard 2. So 4-color Reanimator. Mill 2, draw 2, ditch 2. What are the ditches? Yep. Okay. We'll fire off Smuggler's Surprise. We whiffed. And that feels very, very bad. Okay. Wow. That was the world's biggest whiff. That felt very bad. Okay, so is it valuable for us to do 2 damage to them here? Not 2, 1. Is it valuable for us to do 1 damage to them? I think that it is. So we're going to get our second Llanowar down, a Shared Roots, and we're going to attack with our Llanowar. Because if they're playing Reanimator, I need to put as much pressure on as possible. So I can cast Overlord next turn for the full cost, provided they don't remove both of my elves. Okay, Black Bale Merc. Bin, 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 bin. My guess is they're going to grab Yuna. Okay, they are very dedicated. Do they miss their land drop? Or are they just messing around with us? So Squirming Emergence gets Yuna, reanimates Yuna at this point. Okay, they've got the land. So we're probably boned here because we drew another land. So we're going to play our land for turn, play a 4 mana Overlord, hit you for 4, attack with the elf. If they've got it, they've got it. If they've got another Squirmy Emergence, they get to reanimate Yuna. Yuna reanimates Bahamut, and we are just absolutely in trouble. They've got it. Okay, there you go. Terrific. Yep. I think we're just boned from here. Watch us draw another land. Yep. Good game. Handful of lands. What are you going to do with that? Okay, game 6, currently 4-1 after getting to see the extreme negative side of a deck like this, which is if you don't have the big creature in your hand, you are not going to be able to, you're not going to be successful. So double Abrade, Overlord, Raph, Vaultborn. The interaction makes me want to keep it, but we're also not moving our game plan forward. So I think I'm actually going to mulligan this. I don't think that does it. And we are now looking at the exact same problem. Okay, so wrong half of the deck in both cases. I think I have to mulligan again here. I think that this hand does absolutely nothing. Okay. This is better. What are we keeping? I think we tuck. See, we need World War Hulk and something to do with it. So, okay, let's keep 5. We're going to tuck the Elf, and I think the Bloomvine Regent. No, see, that gets us more lands, though. I think it's the shared roots. This is gonna seem strange, but this is what we're doing. Bossing safe first, because we're likely to draw into lands. We're more likely to draw into lands than we are anything else that happens. Okay, Meticulous Archive for our opponent means we are almost certainly playing Control. I could be wrong. I played against a lot of Control today. Starting Town, Cryogenic Relic. Okay, Artifacts. That's not the same. Training Compound. Claim Territory. So we have now kind of caught up from what was going on before. Double Abrade would have been really good. Repurposing Bay for our opponent. World War Hulk #1. So I think I play Tyrant here. And obviously high chances that they remove the Vaultborn Tyrant with an exile-based effect. They've almost certainly got the ability to do so. Here's Battlefront. Oh, this is like there's a possibility that Battlefront does not do what they want it to do. So RNG is on our side today. It is on our side today. Listen, hallelujah, RNGs is on our side. Okay, second World War Hulk. We're gonna put Calamity into play. That's gonna draw us a card. We'll play a land. We're gonna saddle. And we're gonna attack with Calamity. Oh yeah! All the Vaultborn Tyrant triggers. Lotawar Elf for good measure. End of the turn. The tokens disappear. Actual board wipe. Does our opponent have it? Okay. Perilous Snare takes out Calamity. Do they have another one? Cryogenic Relic keeps the Vaultborn Tyrant tapped down. Okay. Counters go on the Elf. Counters go on the Elf. Oh, a lot of our Elf for the win! This is it, friends and opponents. Game 7, currently 5-1 with Gruul World War Hulk. We are on the play. Badger Mole into Bloomvine. We need to draw something to get with to cheat in with World War Hulk, and then we can go from there. But we're certainly okay with starting with this hand. Our opponent mulligans to 6. Opponent mulligans to 5. We're just gonna get the freebie. We'll play an 8th game if they just scoop. Okay. 5 cards for our opponent. Restless Ridgevine. So when your opponent gets this far down... okay, so I actually was just going to say that... I think the benefit of actually getting Badger Mole down here and having it not get destroyed is so great that there's no reason for us not to. Double Swamp for our opponent. Remove the Badger Mole. Strategic Betrayal. So... how does this work with the land? I actually don't know. I don't want to lose the land. I'm sorry, I don't know how that works, and I don't want to make the wrong choice. Okay, claim territory. Get 2 more forests. 1 into play. I would like something better than Overlords to cheat into play here, but it's not the worst case scenario. Unholy Annex for our opponent. Not bad. I mean, so they're playing essentially black control here. Okay. So, Thornspire Verge. World War Hulk. We're going to cheat in Overlord. Blast you for 4. Bloodletter of Aclazotz is not a great draw for them. So we put... I think... Okay. Can we win? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6... So what is this? This is a 3-4, so this essentially gets us 5 more damage. We can't win, but we can put them within... We can put them within very close range. Yeah, we're just going to take out the Bloodletter. Doesn't matter what's getting bigger. Oh, it does, because it untaps. They're at 2. Dream Beavers. I believe they can get us through the night. And if you get that reference, you're very old. Cool. Target creature's power gets doubled. So yeah, this guy. And then same thing. That is enough. World War Hulk. Alright, friends and opponents, how did we do today? I am not gonna lie, I am incredibly surprised at how well this deck did today. This is, in my opinion, kind of a spin the wheel kind of deck. There's a lot of RNG that goes into whether or not you're going to be successful with this list. If you have the right half of your deck at the right time, it does incredibly explosive and very satisfying things. But there, we saw at least in one of those games today where it's just, we didn't have a threat. We didn't have a big creature to put into play, and so it really felt like our deck was doing very little. And anybody who's ever played a ramp list knows what that feels like. I get all the ramp, and that is all that I get, and that ends up making it feel like I'm not really doing anything. If there was one thing that I would change about this list, one thing I would add to it to kind of make it a little bit more competitive in the meta is something, anything that deals with our opponent's graveyard. Now, in best of one, that's hard to do because you're really kind of taking cards away from your game plan in order to deal with what your opponent is doing, when this kind of deck is really just trying to do what it's trying to do so fast that it doesn't matter what our opponent does. But being able to interact at least a little bit goes a very long way on the best of one ladder. So having something that deals with our opponent's yard but is also maybe a big monstrous threat would be very valuable. I don't know that we have that right now. I don't know that we have something that's like that good. There is graveyard hate, but they're all cheaper creatures that are not really fitting into what this style of deck is doing. So I'm not sure what the answer to that is. Let me know in the comments if you can think of something like a big monster creature that also deals with our opponent's graveyards in these colors. I don't know that it's out there, but if it is, let me know. I'd love to shove it in this list. But I was really happy with the list. It was explosive. It was hilarious. It made for some very, very fun moments. And it was surprisingly effective, at least in the games that we played today. And to be fair, RNG is always going to have some factor in how the games go. That's the name of the game. Variance. Not literally, but variance in Magic the Gathering is part of what makes the game what it is. So sometimes you're going to draw the cards in the way that you want to draw them, and sometimes you are not. Early on, we got to see against that control list that we had to shift our strategy entirely because and that really showcased what a powerful card Bossing Say is. Bossing Say is very, very good against control, but they had the land that blew it up too. But we were able to get enough value with it before that happened, not committing our cards most of the board, which allowed us to sneak that game out. But all in all, World War Hulk, it's an interesting and fun card. I don't know that it's going to show up anywhere other than a dedicated list like this, but it was an enormous amount of fun to play today. So that is it. If you're listening to me ramble here at the end of the video, thank you. That is one of the best things that you can do to help the algorithm prioritize our videos and get other people listening and watching Head Games in all of its various forms. So thanks again for being here, and remember, take care of your head. Hey gang, thanks so much for tunneling in. Click that subscribe button to support the channel and check out our last standard video featuring Vastland Scavenger in an Abzan Reanimator list.